The time is now 10:02. The Committee of Community Development and Housing is now called to order. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Hauser.
Here.
Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is absent at the moment. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Schlepper.
Here.
Ms. Simon. Here. You have a quorum.
Clerk, is there any public comment?
Mr. Chair, no one has signed in.
Members, you have the meeting from our last meeting before you. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The minutes are approved. Clerk, will you read the first item into record?
Resolution 2025-0193, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to Future Heights Incorporated for the Noble Area Business Alliance Project from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Who is here to speak to the item?
Good morning. How are you all today? Good. My name is Council Vice President Davita Russell, and I'm here on behalf of the Noble Merchants Association that we've been trying to establish in the Noble Road area, which is a area within Cleveland Heights that is distressed. So we're trying to work to gather the merchants together so they will have a voice within Cleveland Heights, as well as the Taylor area will be our next venue. And I'm going to turn it over to Milka to start the presentation. Thank you.
If you could state your name for the record, please.
My name is Milka Vincent.
Thank you.
And I am Myra Ornstein.
And I'm just here to give you guys an overview of the Noble Area Business Association. The agenda today is the definition, the purpose, the financials, the branding, the mission and vision, the basics. The Merchants Association is just a collective organization formed by business owners within the geographic area of Noble Road. NABA is being formed to strengthen the commercial corridor by uniting local businesses around a shared mission, creating and coordinating strategy for economic development. The reality of what Noble Road is today is vacant storefronts, lack of merchant mix, unattended green space, reputation as an unsafe, crime-ridden neighborhood, lack of foot traffic in a walking district, and lack of marketing, promotion, and branding. The financials. The association is seeking $10,000 in initial funding to cover essential startup costs, including legal and administrative fees, branding and outreach materials, website development, and organizational support. A qualified fiscal agent, Future Heights, has been identified to manage the funds, ensure compliance, and provide financial oversight during the initial phase of development. This is about community. This is about development. This is about change. Merchant participation. It begins with bringing approximately 80 merchants together. A select group of merchants have already been established. The outline for a board of directors, a proposed budget for years 1, 2, and 3 has been created. The financials. ARPA funds are needed to make this transformation a reality. Creation of a corporation 501c3, hiring professionals, and creation of beautification program to include landscaping, streetscape, murals, and more. ARPA funds from the county to help kickstart efforts. Funds from the City of Cleveland Heights to discover costs for marketing and beautification. Grants to supplement the above. Did you want me to do all this?
Do you want me to take over for a while?
Did you want me? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this is to move that along.
Okay.
Nothing can start here without funds earmarked for hiring an attorney, a CPA, and then we'll be able to establish a C Corp and a 501c3. The county funds will help us to cover the costs for that, specifically starting with those purposes. And then we will also begin establishing a board of directors. We will look into grant opportunities once we're recognized as a nonprofit. And everything is on hold without the funds from you. We've decided that the current people who are creating the executive board of the Noble Merchants Association wanted to call it the Noble Area Merchants Association. We have lessened that amount to make it NABA, which we think will be a great branding opportunity for the district because of the negative connotation about Noble. Creating something like NABA creates the image that's similar to New York with Soho or NoHo, and we think that there are opportunities for polls and other things for marketing opportunities. What we want to do is solidify that the merchants on Noble Road create a community. This is something that hasn't been established in the past by the city of Cleveland Heights, and we're hoping that we can make that happen through this and through your funding. So our first step is to create the corporation and a 501c3. As you know, right now, we're working through a fiscal agent, Future Heights, and once we have the other established, we'll be able to work on our own. We want to create a community of merchants where none has happened before. Go back. Sorry. There it is. And we want to create a beautification program. Noble has been neglected overall by the city of Cleveland Heights. The beautification program has not taken place in many years, even though there has been some landscaping. Much more is needed than that. So we're looking at this as a win-win for the merchants, a win for the county, a win for Cleveland Heights, and just betterment overall for Noble. So there are approximately 80 merchants in the Noble Corridor. We have the wrong definition, I'm sorry about this. It's really the area from Mayfield Road to Grayton Road, which is the border of East Cleveland. We've done a lot so far. Thanks to Councilman Russell, who has given us homework. We've started a lot of different things, and so we established an executive committee for the board of directors. We appointed an executive director. We are establishing a governing board of directors so that there's a unified voice. We want it to be as diverse as possible, featuring as many Noble merchants as possible. We want to have as many businesses involved as possible so that there's community engagement in how we're going to proceed. We're going to create a website. We are planning district-wide events and promotions. Again, these are dependent. We want to apply for a CAC grant. That's also dependent on making us a 501c3. We want to advocate for safety and infrastructure improvements. And we want to facilitate business development. We want a more diverse Noble Road with more diverse merchant mix. If you have any questions.
And let the record reflect that Mr. Jones is in attendance.
Any questions from my colleagues? Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Looking at your accomplishments to date, the executive director and the governing board of directors, are those paid positions?
The executive director would be a paid position. The board of directors would not.
Thank you. Well, it looks like a great plan. Looks like Cleveland Heights could use a win right now anyhow, after watching the news, so.
No comment.
Yeah, you have my support on this.
Thank you so much.
Through the chair, I just had a couple of questions about some of the existing infrastructure businesses, things like that. I'm relatively familiar with this area. I know this is kind of on the eastern edge of Cleveland Heights. And I know that they have a branch of library there, the Noble Library. I know that there's some churches and some other pieces. Are there going to be some efforts to engage each of those stakeholders in the area to kind of get them, everybody's kind of on the same page with this? I'm just curious about those efforts.
Yes, we have been reaching out to all the 80 merchant businesses that sit on Noble Road. And what we are trying to do is make sure that everybody is included in Noble Road, because we haven't been like, trying to get all of them together initially, but right now, we are, moving forward with getting everybody involved in Noble Road.
We also are planning some meetings with the merchants on a regular basis, just merchant get-togethers, and those would probably be held at the library or some of the places that you're referencing.
One more question through the chair. You were talking about some of the things that you could do to maybe lift up things like wayfinding, flags or banners or poles. And I know sometimes there can be things that are low cost, high impact to kind of give, you're talking about an identity to this portion of the city. So did you have any other ideas in terms of things you'd like to do early to kind of say, hey, this is our identity and this is who we want to be?
Absolutely. I think that bringing art and food into the district is really imperative. The transformation being modeled after what happened with Tremont, after Michael Simon got in there, and how it's evolved since then. And so we are already talking with the head of the art department at Shaker, who's friendly with the head of the art department at Cleveland Heights. He designed the recent album cover for Kid Cudi. I mean, I guess they're good friends, and so we feel that having that kind of backing with us will help a lot. And also just raising the level of artistic creation for the district, I think, is really crucial. I'm modeling it a little bit about how Chicago looks with its murals, and thinking that if we make that kind of dramatic change on Noble, that will increase the foot traffic.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. I saw on one of the slides, Cleveland Heights, are they funding this with their ARPA dollars
Yes, we have a proposal up before them on Wednesday.
before the council? Oh, how much is that?
Yes, with our opera dollars, we have set aside opera dollars for the Taylor and Noble area, because those are the two districts that do not have a association, and we're going to fund a 3-year budget.
Okay, great. So the executive board of directors, would those be comprised of business owners in the area?
Yes. Yes, I'm a business owner on Noble Road, and also. And I'm also a business owner. The 3 young ladies sitting here.
What businesses, what are your businesses?
I
I can't through the chair.
I own Lullaby Infant Club in Cleveland Heights on Noble Road.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Muhammad. I own Salon Productions. I've been there 14 years. I started off as a shampoo assistant. I bought the salon from the girl that I work for. So I'm still there, and I hope to be there. And these funds will definitely help all of us.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jacqueline Rimmer. I'm actually a Cleveland Heights resident. We have been living in Cleveland Heights for 10 and a half years. I relocated my business to Cleveland Heights, would be 9.5 years ago. I own The Exclusive Touch. We do embroidery, screen printing, and promotional products right next door to Salon Productions on Noble Road. So we've been there. Like I said, I'm a resident. I have no intentions on leaving my home or my business. So hopefully this will really revitalize everything in the area.
Hello, my name is Daniette Caldwell, and I own Mommy's Bakery and Mama Q's Kitchen, which is a Jamaican restaurant. We opened up in November, started from a licensed home bakery, and we opened up in November. So we're right on the border, so we're right on Noble Road in Grayton. And I know that this would definitely bring a lot to Noble Road. We've been working together as merchants, working together, which has been great as a camaraderie. So you guys' funds and you guys funding us would definitely give a great kickstart off for our association and moving forward and bringing great things to Noble Road.
Tell us your address through the chair. for your location. Tell us your address. So I'll put it out there.
2204 Noble Road.
So and who's the executive director going to be? Milk?
This will be Myra.
Myra? Okay.
Hi, I'm also a Cleveland Heights resident and have been for over 40 years. I was the executive director of Coventry and also Cedar Fairmount. And part of what precipitated my involvement with this was my knowledge after talking with DeVita about how Noble has been just overlooked by Cleveland Heights for many, many years. And so I am doing this pro bono until we get started. I feel there's a real need to make this happen. I am pretty upset about the fact that the city has said we have 3 districts on the west end and they're great, and then there's Noble, and I want it to change completely. I think the trajectory has to change.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's my neighborhood, actually. I'm on the border. I'm in South Euclid, but I'm down off of Monticello. So be happy to see.
Well, hopefully
Some
there'll be a lot of
resurgence.
changes. I will say, I'm also the executive director of Cleveland Independence, the restaurant organization. We already have plans to bring some of our members to Noble. One of them is planning to open a kind of 3-focused storefront. And there are other people that we're speaking with that also should change just the merchant mix. We think there's a need for that if we want to increase foot traffic.
And lastly, have you notified the businesses yet, or you're now just incubating and then you'll reach out?
Yes, we have. We've worked with all the merchants. We walked up and down the street, made phone calls, emails. So yes, we all are working together, yes.
I had a question through the chair also, now that I've been listening to each of you. Has there been any opportunity for media or stories about this? Because I think looking at this collection of business owners and women-owned business owners, I think that's the real story on top of this, right? So if there were ever an opportunity for you to have some public-facing media or something like that where you can talk about, this is my business, you know, your story talking about starting as a shampoo and moving on up, you know, that's incredible. So those are the types of things I think we also need to expose in addition to the work that you're doing, which I think is incredibly powerful. So
I can honestly say in my many years of business, I have never had a client that's been this motivated. They are incredible people. And the only thing stopping us right now is not having the incorporation.
Well, I just want to commend each and every one of you. This is a fantastic initiative. I'm happy to be a part of it. I did have one question, and the dollar amount. I heard you say, Councilwoman, it's a 3-year funding. Do we know at this moment what that dollar amount is for Cleveland, from Cleveland Heights?
Do you have the budget?
I have it over.
Here it is.
Got it.
There you go.
So yes, so, hold on, year 1, we're looking at $259,945. Year 2, $210,000, roughly, and then year 3, $279,000.
Like you're well on your way. All right. Again, congratulations.
And I think you also should know that what they've been doing in the background is talking to the merchants about what their contribution is going to be to this. So they are anticipating they would need full participation from the county and the city for year 1 just to kickstart this. But then after that, at least a good portion of this will be allocated from the merchants themselves. So they're not looking at this as a handout, but actually as a start.
Yep, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Before I sit down, I just want to say thank you so very much for the opportunity to be here. Noble Road has not had any funding or any resources in 40 years. And I've been trying to make changes there since I became a council person as well as Taylor Road. And this is we tried this about 3 times and it's stuck. So we need those $10,000 just to get it started because Cleveland Heights is moving so very slowly. And we don't know far as how the turtle will move with advocating and getting the rest of the dollars, but this will help them on their way. So I truly appreciate the efforts in helping us, and I'll be back for Taylor.
Well, just in closing, I want to echo those sentiments. I've been in a few of these meetings, so I know how hard you guys have worked on this. I want to thank Councilwoman Russell for her efforts. I don't want to say under distressed community, but Noble area definitely can use the support. I also want to thank Councilman Jones, who, when I called without hesitation, said, sure. Councilman Jones, a business owner himself, I'm sure understands the importance of supporting this, so just want to publicly thank him. And if there is not any other questions, I will move this item to the, because this is ARPA money, this has to go through 3 readings. And so I am going to move for a motion to move this item forward to our next council meeting for second reading.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
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 The ayes have it,
And Mr. Chair, if you would add my name as well.
definitely. This item has been approved and will be on our second reading council committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, so much.
Thank you.
Can we get a picture with you all?
Sure, yep, I'm going to finish the meeting. Do we have any other items?
There are no other items for consideration.
Okay, I will close the meeting at 10:23.